This week's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/DJForceX. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. This episode of the DJ Force X podcast is proudly sponsored by Fixed. Fixed is a fan and artist-friendly independent record label that specializes in hybrid electronic rock. It's home to the likes of Celduella, Blue Starly, I Will Never Be the Same, Richie Nix, The Algorithm, Voicians, CD Akira, and a whole bunch more. Check out their latest label sampler for just $1 at their official store, fixedstore.com. That's FIXT store.com. Save 10% off your first order by using my coupon code FORCEX. That's FORCEX. They have loads of shirts, hoodies, stickers, posters, and many other accessories for all their artists, and this is available worldwide with fantastic international shipping rates to go with that. So head over to fixedstore.com and check them out. And don't forget, use my coupon code FORCEX. Hello and welcome to the DJ Force X podcast, episode 68. On this particular show, I introduce you to a new artist. He is called Yonee. He is based out here in LA, even though this interview I am chatting to him while he's in the UK, doing a radio tour for his new single Paradise, which is out now via all digital platforms. So go check that out if you're into your kind of like dance music, pop music kind of mix, kind of Avicii, Calvin Harris, that kind of style. Basically this is a discovery episode, if you will, for this new artist, so I hope you enjoy it. But before that, I want to urge you guys to go make go do a review for the show on iTunes or Stitcher or Deezer or Google Play or TuneIn Radio, wherever you hear this particular show. Please go and leave a review. It only takes a couple of minutes, but it really does help this show out, in as much as getting things like advertisers or actually getting it up various charts, so more people listen to it, so it helps these emerging artists become more well-known, if you will. Amongst the plethora of podcasts there are out there, you've chosen mine to listen to today, which I thank you for. I really do appreciate it. Please use my sponsors. I've got Audible and I've got Fixed, and all that kind of stuff. But also, check out my radio show. That goes out on Tuesdays, 11 p.m. UK time on TotalRock.com. Also, Saturdays, 11 p.m. Eastern time on the Mix.fm. And Sundays at 8 p.m. on FullFreakRadio.com. They also have an app as well, so look for Full Frequency Radio. All the stations are available on TuneIn as well, so you can check that out. But also, DJ Force X in Conversation, which is essentially this podcast, but with music, goes out on Total Rock every Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time. Please check that out. I'm also on demand on Mixcloud. That's mixcloud.com/DJ Force X. Now that the spamming and the advertising and the pleading and the begging is all over and done with, I introduce to you Yonee. Enjoy. I'd like to welcome to this week's show singer, songwriter, producer, Yonee. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
No worries. I did pronounce that right, didn't I? It's Yonee, or is it Yonee?
Yonee, you did, and I'm surprised because most people have been pronouncing it right lately.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Welcome to the show. For the benefit of my listeners and things, could we get a bit of background on yourself and how you came to be where you are today?
Yeah, so I'm a singer, producer, DJ, songwriter, and I am from LA. I released my first single, Bombs My Love, about 5 or 6 months ago, and second single, Paradise, about 2 weeks ago. That's first song we released. Bombs My Love went top 10 in the UK and a couple charts, and Also went top 10 on Spotify and Viral World and US.
Excellent. Cool. So what brought you to this point? What did you how did you get into the whole music side of things?
Well, I was actually studying economics at the University of Chicago. So I lived in Chicago for 5 years and started DJing and producing, and one thing led to another. I was booking my own when I was in college. My remixes and mashups started to get popular online, so I started doing booking my own 30 city, 40 city college tours.
Wow.
Which led to a bunch of other opportunities, and eventually at one point I was in a boy band managed by the same managers in NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and I saw these singers. They were singing and they were in the group, and I was like, God, I really want to do that. And I was always thought I had the tone to do it, and then they were like, if you work with a vocal coach once a week, you'll be at where you need to be in a couple years, and you work on it every day. And so next thing you know, after a lot of hard work and dedication, we're here now.
Yeah, nice. So with your let's go back a bit to your DJing side of things. So what inspired you to take up the turntables?
I it honestly was watching I kind of got into electronic music right when Tiesto and Deadmau5 were really, and Avicii were really hitting their strides, and it was such an amazing experience to be part of the dance music underground. Because it was still fairly underground then,
Yeah.
And so just watching them, they were a huge inspiration. So I wanted to be able to create that music and also and be able to DJ in front of thousands of people.
Cool. So, I mean, in your sound, I can hear a lot of what you've just mentioned. Then Avicii, Deadmau5. I think you've even said Calvin Harris and things like that.
Yes.
And it is very that. It's kind of a cross between. I feel there's an organic strain to the music, but there's also that electronic side to it.
Exactly. So Calvin Harris was a huge influence of Avicii on the production side of things. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So your new single, Paradise, which you say is out now. It's quite a nice chill track. I really enjoyed it. I also did listen to your Bombs of My Love, I should say, which was your previous single, which you mentioned as well. Again, you got a very kind of positive, upbeat sort of sound to it. Was that a kind of a conscious effort, or was it more it's just something that you wanted to, just happened?
Yeah, I think the music that I write is super organic and just kind of flows out of me. I'm naturally a super upbeat, positive person. So, and high energy. So, that the fact that those were my first two singles kind of made sense. I do have the next couple songs I'm going to be releasing. Some of them are super vibey and sexy and a little darker.
Nice.
But some of them are also super poppy and super upbeat and catchy. So I kind of have a bunch of different, influences and a bunch of different sides of me that I, interject into my music.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about a couple of your influences already with, you say Calvin Harris, Avicii, things like that. But what other influence do you pull into the music? Because obviously you're a DJ, you're a producer, you're also a songwriter, and obviously a performer as well. So, what having that whole thing going on, are there any other influences or inspirations you grabbed on the way?
Oh yeah. Yes, definitely. I mean, from a songwriting perspective, there are so many influences from I love what John Mayer does lyrically, to what Michael Jackson's done. I think he's just a god. Him, who else? I think Max. I've learned a lot from Max Martin in studying his songwriting and every pop record that he's made. So, Ed Sheeran even. I mean, it's really just runs across the board and into different kind of areas of my music.
Cool. I saw you mentioned was it Max Martin? I mean, he's one of those super producers, songwriters. Isn't he? He's been
it's funny because he is. When I was in that boy band, we did an audition for him. And it was the boy band was 3 singers, a DJ, and a drummer. It's supposed to be this new super group, but obviously it did not work out. But but we did it. We did an audition for him, and so I'm just hoping that one day he will he'll remember that audition next time I meet him.
Yeah.
He'll be like, "Oh, I remember you did that audition for us."
Yeah, no, that's amazing. He's one of those, like I say, super producers, and I think he's about to get inducted in the Hall of Fame as well for songwriting.
Yeah,
or something.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, despite my I'm more of a sort of like metal and rock background, along with DJing. But
yeah, he used to do that.
Yeah, I'm well aware of who he is. It's very strange. I have that knowledge in my brain.
Yeah, but well, it's crazy because before he did the whole pop music, he was in that kind of hard metal rock in Sweden. So
I think that's where it kind of comes from. Obviously, being from over
exactly
as well, his name kind of got ingrained in my head for some reason.
Exactly.
So on the production side of things, because like people who listen to my podcast and things are quite into music production in some cases. What is your studio setup like? What's your favorite piece of gear?
Oh man, that's a great question. Well, I have the KRKs for my speakers, and I guess one of my favorite. Honestly, let's see. What is my favorite tool that I use? I'm thinking like, what do I use all the time? I would say I love manipulating sounds from like Silent and Nexus.
Yep.
Can't really go wrong with Nexus in terms of the VSTs, but that's more on like the soft synth side. But like if I use a lot of live instruments, so I love crossing both of those worlds. I mean, I think like the only way that not the only way, but I think it really helps like to have both, kind of the in the box part of things, and then the kind of live human element. Merging those together, you can really, really create something special.
Yeah, no, that's what's great about your music, that I listen to the two tracks that are out there, and they do meld those two together.
Exactly.
It's really nice. There's only a few sort of dance, like EDM artists that do that.
So I basically kind of more expand on your question a little bit more. I have my kind of home studio set up.
Yeah.
But then I also like if I'm going to record like track like instruments, or if I'm going to record my vocals, I'll go into like I have a couple different studios, whether it's in LA or Nashville, where I record the vocals and the instruments and kind of collaborate to kind of get another more some like I work with like some really talented instrumentalists who kind of do their thing on some of my songs. So
nice, cool. So being I'd say relatively new to the music scene in the UK, at least over here in the States. What are the sort of I like to ask like established artists this as well as like new artists. What are your like biggest challenges that you face trying to either get sort of more noticed in this scene or like to grab attention of new fans and things?
Oh yeah, so I would say there's two. The biggest ones for me at least are kind of because I'm not signed, so it's a little harder to gain exposure on Spotify and then also on the radio. Because my songs are very radio friendly and don't really fit the niche of a lot of the kind of more indie sounding songs that get placed on the blogs and websites online. So it's kind of trying to like the least expensively play the game of radio and play the game of Spotify. So it's tough, but with the first single doing its thing organically, it was like such a blessing that like it was able to just kind of go viral, and hopefully the second one does the same. So I'm just hoping on organic growth and organic fans just kind of really liking music and us connecting.
Cool. So what are your plans ahead of this release? Are you planning to do? Obviously, you're over in the UK right now doing a radio tour.
So we're doing we just did New York and London Fashion Week. We did a bunch of shows here in London, and then now we're on this radio tour where we're in Manchester. We're doing Leeds today and Sheffield tomorrow. So we're doing the whole UK tour.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back to the States. We got a couple TV appearances we're doing, and where we're going to be performing and then getting ready to release the EP, and we just got a lot of we got after London Fashion Week, we have a couple brands that are interested in partnering with us, like for me to wear their clothing more on like a permanent basis and stuff, which is really cool because I never fancied myself to be a in that world. But yeah, so yeah, we got a lot of things cooking, which I'm really excited about.
Excellent. Look forward to it. So I've got a couple of questions left for you, then I'll let you go. First one is, what are your passions away from music? Obviously, music is one of your major passions. But what other things do you do to sort of, if you need to kind of escape for a bit? Excuse me.
I would say drinking alcohol, partying with friends. I love hanging out with friends. Like, I love being around other people. You know, I'm very social. So that, DJing. I love working out, like hiking. I do actually write that. I know it obviously always goes back to the music, but like I do write a lot of my music when I go hiking. And yeah, just kind of being active and social and all that good stuff.
Cool. So on back on the topic of music, what are your 3 top albums?
Oh my God. I feel like I was born in the generation of singles.
All right, well, your 3 top singles then. Go on, let's do that.
Oh my Lord, let me think about this one. That is really, really, really tough. That when it comes on, I'm just like, that's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, kind of, or anything that kind of influenced you in the musician or person that you've become today.
I honestly, there really isn't a go-to song. Like, there's so many musical influences from like Coldplay, Avicii to like, you know, John Legend, John Mayer, Jack Johnson, that like, I wouldn't even be able to tell you one. I mean, even from the 80s, like when Michael Jackson releasing his albums, like I could give you like, you know, 5, 6 songs that I absolutely was obsessed with. And it's more about like the decades, but even rap in the 2000s.
Tell you what, give me one from the 80s, one from the 90s, and one from the 2000s.
Okay, so from the 80s, let's do Bad, okay. Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Let's do from the 2000s, I would say let's try Still in Existence. I still would listen to, and it was Shake Your Tail Feather by Nelly. Back because I was a huge Bad Boys, the whole trilogy, huge fan of that. And then let's try the 90s.
Yeah.
I would say of this, let's skip to this decade. I would say probably Wake Me Up of each.
Okay, cool. Cool.
So yeah, I mean, pretty all over the place.
No, that's all right. We got there. So that's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
So finally, where can people reach you? Where's the best place to connect with you online?
Online, I'm on all the social media platforms. So Instagram would be at I am Yonee, Yonee, and Twitter, Facebook, same thing at I am Yonee, and Spotify, I am Yonee. And you can listen to my music on Spotify and Apple Music and all the musical platforms that are now out there. I can't even keep track. There's like 500 million.
There are a few, aren't there? So
I know. Cool. I don't know which platform to use to listen to music anymore.
Yeah, no, it's a strange one. I'm kind of between 2 of them at the moment. So
exactly,
one's costing me money, the other one isn't. So I'm kind of going to.
It's a love-hate relationship with it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, Yonee. It's been a pleasure. Good luck with the single.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I hope the UK is treating you well as well.
Very well. Very cold, but very well.
Yeah, it's very strange. We kind of swapped continents, and
I know
it's weird, but yeah, it's all good.
So save some sun for me in this.
Oh well, don't worry about it. There's plenty of to go around here. So again, thank you, Yonee, and good luck with the tour.
Awesome. Thank you so much for everything. We'll talk soon.